The park pavilion was decorated with streamers and a banner that read, Mitchell Family Reunion 2025. 73 relatives had gathered for the annual summer event. Tables covered in potluck dishes, kids running through the grass, adults clustered in conversation groups. My mother had been coordinating this reunion for 8 months. I sat at a picnic table near the beverage station, nursing a glass of Sauvignon Blanc. Nearby, my sister Vanessa showed her phone to a circle of aunts and cousins, scrolling through photos from her trip to Cancun. This was our beachfront suite, Vanessa gushed. All-inclusive resort, 5-star dining. Mom and Dad paid for the whole thing as an early 30th birthday gift. 2 weeks of pure luxury. My mother beamed. Only the best for our baby girl. I took another sip of wine. Baby girl. At 30, Vanessa was still their baby. Uncle David, my father's younger brother, settled onto the bench across from me. He lived in Austin, ran a successful architectural firm, and actually remembered to send me birthday texts every year. Rachel, he said warmly, good to see you. You're looking well. Thanks, Uncle David. How's Texas treating you? Hot as hell, but business is booming. He grabbed a cookie from the plate between us. Speaking of which, how's life in that beautiful house you bought? Must feel incredible owning a $3 million property at 32. The conversation around us didn't stop immediately. It took 5 seconds. Vanessa's voice cut off mid-word. She'd been describing the resort spa. Her phone lowered slowly, thumb still hovering over the screen. My mother's smile froze on her face. My father, who'd been helping himself to potato salad, straightened up with the serving spoon still in his hand. Uncle David didn't notice the shift. He continued, enthusiastic. That Craftsman in Laurelhurst, what a find. Historic district, tree-lined street, walking distance to everything. And you got it before the market went crazy. Smart timing on that April closing. My mother's voice came out strained. David, what house? Uncle David blinked, looking between my mother and me. His expression shifted from friendly to confused. The house Rachel bought. The 1920s Craftsman on Elm Street. I closed April 22nd, I said calmly. Paid $1, $3 million, put down $390,000, financed the rest at 7%. My father's serving spoon cued it onto the table. You own a house for over $1 million. Yes. 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, original hardwood floors, built-in bookshelves, restored fireplace. 3,200 FT on 1/3 of an acre. The inspection revealed the foundation was solid. So, I went forward with the purchase. Vanessa's mouth hung open. Where did you get $390,000? I saved it. I've been a data science director for 8 years, Vanessa. Before that, I spent 6 years climbing from analyst to senior analyst to team lead. Tech companies pay competitively for specialized skills. My current salary is $215,000 base, plus annual bonuses that average $65,000. The pavilion had gone noticeably quieter. Conversations at nearby tables tapered off as people sensed something happening. My mother's hand clutched her paper plate. Your salary is you make almost $300,000 a year. Last year was $287,000 with bonus. Yes, this year I'm on track for similar. I set my wine glass down. I've been updating you on my career progression for years. You just haven't been paying attention. Uncle David's face showed dawning realization. Wait, you didn't know Rachel bought a house? No, my father said faintly. We did not. Or her job title, Uncle David added slowly. Or her salary. Apparently, Aunt Patricia, my mother's sister, approached our table. Rachel bought a house. $1 million house. In April, I confirmed. 7 months ago. Vanessa set her phone down. Vacation photos forgotten. How did we not know about this? Because you didn't ask, I said simply. In 7 months, not one of you asked where I lived. Not one of you wondered why I stopped mentioning my apartment. Not one of you cared enough to inquire about my life. My mother's eyes filled with tears. That's not fair, Rachel. We've been busy. Busy with what? I interrupted. Busy planning Vanessa's vacation. Busy celebrating her promotion to junior marketing manager. Busy redecorating her apartment with furniture you bought her? I looked at my sister. How much did Mom and Dad spend on your Cancun trip? Vanessa's face flushed. $12,000. $12,000. I let that sit. When I bought my house, the largest purchase of my life, I got a thumbs up emoji in the family group chat. That was it. No congratulations, no questions, no offer to help or even visit. Just a thumbs up. My father found his voice. You told us in a text message. I told you in a text. Because you didn't answer when I called. 3 times I left voicemails. You never called back. I pulled out my phone, scrolled to April. Here, see for yourself. I held up the screen showing my call log to my parents. 3 outgoing calls on April 22nd, each lasting under 10 seconds, straight to voicemail. Then the text I'd sent closed on my house today. So excited to finally be a homeowner. 1920s craftsman in Laurelhurst, can't wait to show you both. The response, 5 hours later, thumbs up sign. My mother stared at the screen like it was written in a foreign language. We were helping Vanessa pack for her trip. Her trip that wasn't for another 2 weeks, I said quietly. You had 14 days to follow up. You never did. Uncle David sat down his cookie, suddenly not hungry. Rachel, can I see photos of the house? Of course. I opened my photo album, passed him my phone. He scrolled through images of my home. The blue-gray craftsman exterior with white trim. The wraparound porch with hanging baskets. The living room with exposed beams and the original brick fireplace I'd had restored. The kitchen with subway tile and butcher block counters. The back garden where I'd planted roses and herbs. Rachel, this is stunning, he said softly. The restoration work alone must have been significant. I put in another $80,000 after closing. New roof, updated electrical, refinished floors, bathroom renovations. The bones were good, but it needed love. I smiled. It's my dream house. I wake up every morning grateful I found it. Uncle David passed my phone to Aunt Patricia, who gasped, Rachel, this is absolutely beautiful. The craftsmanship. The phone made its way around nearby tables. Cousins crowded around to look. Second cousins I barely knew, who murmured appreciation. Grandma Helen, matriarch of the family, studied each photo carefully. When the phone reached my parents, my mother's hands trembled. She scrolled through the images with tears streaming down her face. This is your house. Yes. It's incredible. Her voice broke. Why didn't you make us listen? Why didn't you force us to pay attention? Because I shouldn't have to force my parents to care about my life, I said evenly. I shouldn't have to beg for basic interest in my achievements. I tried for years, Mom. Every promotion, every milestone, every piece of good news, I tried to share it with you. And every single time, the conversation pivoted to Vanessa within 5 minutes. Vanessa's face had gone pale. I didn't know. I know you didn't. Because they shielded you from it. They made sure you never had to think about whether you were getting too much attention because I got so little there was no comparison. My father set the phone down carefully. Rachel, that's not... We didn't mean to. Didn't mean to or didn't notice. I looked at him. There's a difference. One is an accident. The other is a choice not to see. Grandma Helen spoke up from her chair. How long has this been going on, Rachel? Since Vanessa was born, I said I was 4, old enough to remember being the only grandchild, and old enough to notice when the new baby became the center of everyone's universe and I became background noise. My mother sobbed. That's not true. Mom, you missed my college graduation because Vanessa had a dance recital. You forgot my 30th birthday last year, but threw Vanessa a surprise party for hers 3 months later. You visited Vanessa's apartment 17 times in the past year. You've never asked for my address. The number hung in the air. 17 visits versus 0. Uncle David shook his head slowly. Sarah, Mike, I've watched this happen at family events for years. Rachel starts to talk about work and you interrupt to ask Vanessa about her day. Every time. Aunt Patricia nodded. We've all noticed. We just didn't know how to bring it up without causing family drama. So, you let it continue, I said. Not accusatory, just stating fact. Everyone saw it happening and said nothing. Cousin Jennifer spoke up from the next table. I'm sorry, Rachel. You're right. We should have said something. Other voices joined in. Apologies from aunts and uncles and cousins who'd watched me become invisible over the years. My mother looked around at the family, at all the witnessing faces. We're terrible parents. To me, yes, you have been. I agreed. To Vanessa, you've been attentive, supportive, involved, everything I needed and never got. That's the hard truth. You have the capacity to be good parents. You just chose not to be for me. Vanessa wiped her eyes. I'm so sorry, Rachel. I've been a terrible sister. You've been a pampered sister. I corrected. There's a difference. You're not responsible for mom and dad's choices. But you are old enough now to recognize the imbalance and decide what kind of sister you want to be going forward. She nodded, still crying. My father's voice came out broken. What do you want from us, Rachel? How do we fix this? I don't know if you can, I said honestly. This isn't about one missed phone call or one forgotten text. It's about 32 years of being the invisible daughter of having every achievement minimized, every need dismissed, every milestone overshadowed by whatever Vanessa was doing that week. Uncle David leaned forward. Rachel, for what it's worth, that house purchase was brilliant. Historic craftsman in Laurel Host, that property will appreciate significantly. You're building serious equity. Thank you. That was my thought as well. I smiled at him. Thanks for remembering enough about my life to ask about it. Of course, you're my niece. I'm proud of you. He looked at my parents, which is something she should hear from you more often. My mother reached across the table toward me. I am proud of you, Rachel. So incredibly proud. Are you? I pulled my hand back. Or are you just saying that because 73 family members just watched you realize you've neglected me for 3 decades? She flinched. That's not fair. Fair would have been you asking about my house hunt when I mentioned it last year. Fair would have been you celebrating my promotion to director with the same enthusiasm you showed when Vanessa became a junior manager. Fair would have been you treating both your daughters like they mattered equally. Vanessa stood abruptly. I'm going to get some air. She walked away quickly, shoulders shaking. My father watched her go, then turned back to me. She's upset. She should be, I said. She's realizing that her entire worldview was built on favoritism she never questioned. That's uncomfortable, but it's necessary. Grandma Helen cleared her throat. Rachel, I'd like to see this house of yours. When can I visit? Anytime. Grandma, I'll text you some dates. Good. I want to see what my granddaughter built while her parents weren't paying attention. She shot my parents a sharp look. I told you 10 years ago this was happening. You didn't listen. My mother's makeup was fully destroyed now. I know, Mom. You were right about all of it. Uncle David stood up. Rachel, I'm going to head out soon, but before I do, are you happy in your house? In your life? I thought about my craftsman with the morning light streaming through original windows, my garden where I had coffee every Sunday, my office where I worked remotely 3 days a week, my life that was holy, completely mine. Yes, I said. I'm really happy. Good. That's what matters. He hugged me. Keep being amazing and send me more photos of that house. I love a good restoration project. I will. After he left, the reunion slowly resumed around us. Kids went back to playing. Adults went back to eating. But my parents sat frozen at the table, the weight of 32 years of neglect settling on their shoulders. My father finally spoke. Can we see it? The house. Can we come visit? I don't know, I said. Can you sustain interest in my life for more than one guilt-driven visit? Can you remember where I live 6 months from now? Can you stop treating Vanessa's every move like breaking news while treating my major life events like footnotes? I want to try, he said. We both do. Trying isn't enough, Dad. Either you change or you don't, but I'm not going to coach you through learning to care about me. I'm not going to make it easy or comfortable. I've spent 32 years making myself small and easy to ignore. That ends now. My mother buried her face in her hands. We've lost you. No, I said quietly. You just finally noticed I've been gone for a long time. I stood up, gathered my purse. I'm going home to my house. The one you didn't know existed. Rachel, please. My father started. I need time, I said. Time to figure out if I believe you can actually change. Time to decide if I want to let you into the life I built without you. Time to heal from 32 years of being invisible. I walked to my car through the park. Behind me, I could hear my mother sobbing, my father's voice trying to comfort her, cousins murmuring. I drove home to my Craftsman on Elm Street, pulled into my driveway, looked at my blue-gray house with white trim, my garden full of roses, my porch where I sat every evening with a book. My phone buzzed. Vanessa, can I visit? I want to see your house. I want to know you. Really know you? I typed back. Maybe I need time to think about it. Another text. Uncle David, you handled that with incredible grace. Proud of you, kiddo. I smiled. Texted back. Thanks for caring enough to ask. Inside my house, I poured another glass of wine, stood in my living room with the exposed beams and brick fireplace. My space, my achievement. My phone rang. Mom. I stared at it for 3 rings, then let it go to voicemail. It rang again. Dad, voicemail. I sat on my porch as the sun set, watching my neighborhood come alive with evening sounds. Dogs barking, kids being called in for dinner. Life happening around me. I'd built a good life here, a life my parents knew nothing about. The question now was whether I wanted to invite them into it. But regardless of what they did, I'd be fine. I had a $1, $3 million house that was mine. I had a career I'd built through my own hard work. I had a life that didn't require their validation. I was enough. I always had been. They just hadn't been.